Is Outlands farming worth it? The short answer is no, not by itself at least. Because if there's one thing that most players like to do, it's look cooler and more unique than anybody else, especially whenever it comes to weapons. Choosing a profession, grinding a bit of rep, and earning the patterns for mogs that many players have never seen before is where this series will ultimately shine with the big payouts. Let's start off with a clear understanding that this series is not going to turn an immediate profit, and it's not designed for people with limited playtime. However, if you put in the effort, you're going to be turning more gold than any other farm on the market with very little maintenance. Take a look at my guild bank deposits. Between my brother and I, we have made a little bit over 4 million gold, and I have about 346,000 gold still on me, as you can see from the top of the screen. On average, our deposits are roughly between 75 to 100,000 every few days, and we only started gold farming about 90 days ago, start of the new year. So while this guide is not our only gold making method, it definitely supplements large deposits regularly. Now that you've seen that this turns gold, let's jump into the how-to part. For this guide to work, you're going to need to have at least two characters. One is going to need to have herbalism and mining to minimize the amount of time that you have to farm, and the other with alchemy and blacksmithing. You can mix and match this however you want at the end of the day, as long as you have Outlands, alchemy, and blacksmithing to level 50. That's the level most of the good patterns are going to show any type of value for you. If you don't have this yet though, don't worry. It's not hard to get to where you need to be. You just have to start from the ground and work your way up. I do recommend that you farm your way up specifically because of how the patterns drop in Outlands, but if you'd rather buy the materials, that's your choice in the end. Your next step is to start acquiring the patterns. For this, you'll need to do a simple rep grind, and not so simple find. This is where you'll spend most of your time with the initial setup. We'll discuss that in more detail next week, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notifications for future episodes. For now, let's talk about classes and items to help make the farming easier. Our druid is always a prime pick when looking at herbalism farms. If you don't have a druid, make sure to grab the shredder mount to speed up your herb and picking. Then the optional Darkmoon Firewater to speed up both mining and herbing. This helps immensely in reducing time between each node and works in all expansions. I also recommend using your favorite gathering add-ons to help with finding nodes. Remember, you'll need as much ore as you can get your hands on. Here's why I suggest this. In order for you to get 1 fel steel, you'll need to farm up 60 fel iron and 40 eternium ore, which isn't always easy to find. Now take that times 10 for one of the 4 components for this recipe I have shown. While farming for these, you'll also be getting the primals needed to craft them, so you'll be getting 2 birds with 1 stone by farming versus purchasing. The last tip I have for saving time in this video is to complete the quests. Yes, that means all of them. Just start with one zone and work through the grind. You'll need to do this for the reputation locked patterns anyway, so just knock it out and kill some time while farming for the materials. For me, I chose to do Zangarmarsh and Hellfire first since my patterns are from these areas. Remember, over farming just means you'll get a larger profit in between the weapon sales. That's it for this setup video. Next week, I'll speak directly to blacksmithing and pattern farming for some of these mogs I'm showing on screen now. I hope this video has inspired you to take some time to develop your crafting skills and turn a profit. If you don't have time to farm like this and still want to make gold though, check out my playlist designed for 1 hour or less playtime per day. Make sure to like and sub for this series and all of my other gold hacks. We'll see you next time.